Hi everyone, how's it going?
Hey.
There we go. Thanks you guys for coming out here today. Before I give my awesome little speech here, I just want to throw a little shout out to Leslie for putting everything together, because we all know how hard it is. So thank you, Leslie. I am Sarah Davis. I am a U.S. Navy veteran and also the Director of Community Operations here at Habitat for Humanity of McHenry County. I'd like to extend an especially warm welcome to our guests, Terry Prince, U.S. Navy veteran, Director of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, James Harris, U.S. Marine veteran, Senior Vice President with Wintrust Mortgage, Aaron Newtek, the G is silent, that's in my notes, Senior Area Sales Manager for Owens Corning, and Michael Iwanaki, U.S. Navy veteran and Superintendent at the VAC of McHenry County. Habitat is a global organization, and we have helped over 39 million people achieve strength, stability, and independence through safe and affordable housing. Habitat builds and sells safe, affordable homes for low-income individuals and families in the community. We also operate our Habitat Restores, which are thrift stores that receive and sell donations of new and gently used furniture, home goods, and home decor. This helps support the work that we do in the community. In addition to our home building efforts, Habitat offers a repair program aimed at addressing critical repairs and improvements to existing homes for families in need. Habitat homeowners must demonstrate a need for housing or critical repairs, the ability to pay, and a willingness to partner with us to create a better future. Today, we want to share with you the inspiring journey of Philip, a U.S. Army combat veteran who faced a unique set of challenges in his path to home ownership. Philip's story reflects the resilience and determination of our veterans and underscores the importance of our repair program in providing safe and stable homes. Through our Veterans Build program, Habitat is working not only to help individuals like Philip with critical home repairs, but also to create a welcoming community where veterans can volunteer alongside others who share their experiences. From November 2nd through November 4th, 7 Habitat affiliates in Chicagoland are hosting volunteer teams of veterans and veteran-supporting organizations coming together to make a lasting impact. Today we have 2 groups. The VAC of McHenry County is out at Hillside, and actually I think they're right here sitting in front of me. And then we also have a Veterans Path to Hope out building at Philip's house in Harvard. So they couldn't be here, but they are here in spirit. And now we'd like to share Philip's incredible journey with you through a pre-recorded video. Philip is a U.S. Army combat veteran. Obviously he can't be here with us today because he's helping out on his own house. But his journey reflects the resilience and determination of our veterans and underscores the importance of our repair program in providing safe and stable homes.
My name is Phil. So I joined the service in 2008. I went to basic training in Kentucky. I went to AIT in Maryland. In AIT, I was training as a 63 Bravo, which today is known as 91 Bravo, and that's a wheeled vehicle mechanic. I was training as that, and the opportunity to train as a striker recovery maintainer or striker systems maintainer came up, and I took advantage of that. So I went on after I finished wheeled vehicle mechanic school. I went on and went to striker systems maintainer school. And I learned to work on all operations of the striker. I then was stationed in Schofield Barracks. With Schofield Barracks, I deployed to Iraq with 121 Combat Repair Team. We deployed to Diyala Province. And I returned home. I PCSed to Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington. And then I got out of the service in 2015. Yes, Phoebe's my service dog. After I got out of the service, I started struggling. It actually started while I was in the service, where I started having mental health problems that I couldn't really explain, and it just became increasingly difficult for me to drive, for me to go to the store. Just daily tasks became very difficult for me to do. So I grew up in Gurnee, Illinois. I grew up there. I grew up with both my parents and two younger sisters. I had a very fortunate life. So my grandpa was in the Marine Corps and my uncle was in the Marine Corps. And so, I knew I was going to go to war either way. And I talked to Marine recruiter and Army recruiter, and I thought the Army might be the more gentle way to go. So I decided to join the Army, and it was a great decision that I made. After the service, I came back to Gurnee, and I was working for Underwriters Laboratories for a little while. It was difficult for me to maintain a job because my mental health was not okay, and I failed to recognize that. I got some help. I went on to work for Prairie View Apartments as an assistant manager, and that's where I met Cindy. And she changed my life. She changed my life. She introduced me to Veterans Path to Hope and what they were all about. I immediately told her, hey, when there's a job opening, please let me know. I got in the door. She got me in the door there. I interviewed with the executive director, and I was hired pretty much immediately. And now I get to help veterans, that were suffering with, that are suffering with a lot of the same things that I have been through. And it's very rewarding for me. So after getting out of the military and after going through a divorce, my financial, I had some financial stressors. And I worked for years, and once I got brought into Veterans Path to Hope, I was really able to focus on improving my credit. And I found myself in a situation where I didn't need to rent an apartment anymore. I was able to buy a house. And having a 6-year-old son, that meant the world to me. My son's name is Nolan. I'm a big baseball fan, so Nolan Ryan, I found a house that I really liked in Harvard. It's on an acre and only one neighbor. It's a location that I really liked. Within about a week of moving in, there was a rainstorm and my roof was leaking. And there was water coming behind my cabinets. There were multiple leaks. And I didn't know what to do. So I had a friend tell me about the roof deployment project. I reached out to Owens Corning. They put me in touch with Habitat, and Habitat came out and they took a look, and they were like, this is something we want to do. Those are some of the greatest words I ever heard. So we started with Habitat for Humanity. They reached out to Owens Corning and put an application in on my behalf. And Owens Corning accepted the application, and they said they would do it. Also, some of the greatest words I've ever heard. And it wasn't long, it wasn't much later that they were putting a new roof on my house. So after getting my roof repaired, we found that there were some other problems that needed to be addressed. Fortunately, during Veterans Build this year, a bunch of volunteers are coming to work on my house, and my siding and some other things are going to get done to make sure that I have a dry house going into this winter. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank first my Lord and Savior. I want to thank my family, my friends, my coworkers. I really want to thank Habitat for Humanity. Without Habitat, without Owens Corning, without XL Contracting, none of this would have been possible. I'm so grateful. I hope to give back, in the years to come. I hope that I'm able to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. The staff at Habitat is unbelievable. So as I was buying the house, my son was looking forward to moving in so much. And then once the roof started leaking, he couldn't sleep in his room anymore. The upstairs was totally unusable. And it was hard to see him get so excited and then to feel like I let him down. After getting my roof repaired and him going into his room, the smile on his face and just seeing everything set up in his room, it's a memory I'll never forget. Now I have somewhere for my son and I to live, and nothing could mean more to me than having a safe place to raise my son.
So with that, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Erin Newtek from Owens Corning Roofs.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Erin Newtek and I am a representative from Owens Corning, which is a worldwide corporation deeply committed to giving back to the communities that we serve. The Owens Corning Roof Deployment Project is one of the ways that we show our gratitude to U.S. service members. By partnering with organizations like Habitat for Humanity, we offer roof replacements at no cost to our veterans. And since 2016, we have completed over almost 500 projects across the country. And this is all in part by our Platinum Preferred contractors. The Roof Deployment Project would not be possible without our contractors and our Platinum Preferreds. These contractors donate their time, labor, their resources to install roofs across the country. XL Contracting, a Platinum Preferred contractor out of Roscoe, Illinois, stepped up to provide a new roof on all 3 buildings on Phillips' property. Thank you to Jason Peach and the entire XL Contracting team. We couldn't have done this project without you guys. Phillips' story is just one example of how these efforts can significantly change the lives of veterans in our community. We are proud to stand with Habitat for Humanity and other partners, ensuring that veterans have a safe and stable place to call home. Our dedication doesn't just stop at roofing. We at Owens Corning believe in creating holistic solutions and being a part of larger initiatives that provide comprehensive support to our heroes. To all the veterans here today and those serving across the nation, know that Owens Corning stands with you, recognizing and honoring your service. Now, I'd like to direct our attention back to the program to hear from Michael Iwanicki. Iwanicki, got it.
Thanks, Sarah. Okay, hello. I'm Mike Iwanicki. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran and I'm the superintendent of the Veterans Assistance Commission. I've been with the commission since 1998 and I've served as its superintendent since 2003. The Veterans Assistance Commission of McHenry County services the local veterans community and their eligible family members and survivors with financial assistance, claims, advocacy before the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, veteran and family wellness programs, and for a lot of that we're teaming up with Veterans Path to Hope, who I wish was here, but they're working too. And we also have a caregiver relief program, and we also provide transportation for our local veterans and eligible family members to get over to the Level Federal Health Care Center. You know, veterans share this unique bond forged through service and sacrifice. Habitat Humanity's commitment to veterans like Philip reflects the true spirit of this community and its support. At the Veterans Assistance Commission in McHenry County, we work tirelessly to provide assistance and resources to our local veterans. Our collaboration with Habitat, hi Jerry, our collaboration with Habitat has been instrumental in supporting veterans in need, veterans like Philip and other veterans over the years who have been served by this program to repair and in some cases build housing for our needy veterans in the area. Philip's story reminds us that the journey of veterans doesn't end with their service. It's an ongoing path of challenges and triumphs, and we are proud to stand let me try that again. We are proud to stand alongside organizations such as Habitat for Humanity to ensure that our veterans have a safe and stable home where they can continue to build their lives. Thank you very much. James, you're up. Thanks, James.
Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Harris, Senior Vice President with Wintrust Mortgage, a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, and a proud sponsor of today's event. I also have the pleasure of serving on the Board of Directors for Chicagoland Habitat for Humanity. It's an honor to be here today to witness the remarkable story of veterans like Philip and the incredible work being done by Habitat for Humanity. At Wintrust Mortgage, we put people at the center of everything we do to promote home ownership. We're continuously supporting initiatives that provide affordable housing solutions for veterans and their families. Philip's journey and the dedication of organizations like Habitat for Humanity remind us that when we work together as a community, we can create meaningful and lasting change. Now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today, a distinguished leader who is dedicated to serving veterans and their families. Please join me in welcoming Director Terry Prince of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs. Terry.
Am I the last one? Keeping you away from your work? I brought my own notes, so watch out. I was just thinking as you were speaking, I have a lot of suits and they never look as sharp on me as they do on you. So, I was a Navy corpsman as well, so I get special consideration to my Marines, fellow Marines. I'd like to start off just with a quick thought. Speaking of sailors and corpsmen, the superintendent of the Knox County, Illinois Veterans Assistance Commissions passed away unexpectedly yesterday, retired Master Chief Mark Rose. Mark was one of the, I didn't know him that well, I knew of him from my Navy career, but Mark was one of the first people to reach out to me when I got this job back in April of 2021 to say, welcome aboard, shipmate. We're looking forward to you coming back here and making a difference in the lives of Illinois veterans and their families. And that's why I'm here today. It's an honor to come and speak to you, to any size group for that matter, especially those that are doing the work, God's work around our country. With Habitat for Humanity bringing the opportunity for veterans to own their own home. As a homeowner myself, I know the feeling of it is have your own home. Sometimes I wish I was renting when something went wrong with the roof, but having your own home, there's peace in that. Without partners that have been mentioned, Owens Corning, Wintrust Bank, and others that have been doing these great things, we cannot be completely effective in serving veterans because it takes more than the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs. It takes more than the County Veterans Assistance Commissions. We are a community of people. And we all have an opportunity and moreover an obligation to serve those veterans and their families who are coming back to our communities from service. There's over 500,000 veterans living in our state. Nearly 50,000 women veterans, if you haven't heard that as well. And IDVA's main mission is to ensure that every veteran has an opportunity not just to live in Illinois, but to thrive in our state. We have programs to deal with VA disability benefits, our education, employment, our veterans' homes for those requiring nursing home care, and much more than that. But this is personal for me. You know, they can put a lot of people into these roles as director, and that person can be something, but I take this very personally because I want someone to answer the phone when I call. I want someone to answer my email message, and I want to figure out a way to knock down the walls like you have, no pun intended, we put walls up. But knock down the barriers to entry for veterans who are seeking those services. Because if you watch and you see what happens out there, most of us that have served, and most people in general, are often too proud to ask for help. And it's often at the worst possible time. which is showing up at an ER at one of our VA medical centers to say that I'm feeling suicidal because we've missed some opportunities along the way. Phil's story is a wonderful story about success, but what's woven in the lines is the pain and suffering that a veteran feels like when they come back to a community that doesn't often understand what they did. A community that sees the movies and thinks, wow, you were that person or you were that person. Not the sheer volume of time away from family and friends. So we have veteran service officers that work across our state to do some of the same services that were talked about. Most importantly, connecting veterans to their earned benefits. And that would be your VA disability and compensation programs. But as I said, their families to education programs and so on. They're veterans themselves, so they understand the importance of it. And my task to them isn't to be a transactional person. Not to see a problem and fix the problem, but see beyond the problem. When someone comes in and says, I need my DD-214, do we say, do you have a place to live? Do you have food security? Do you have a job? Do you know that we have scholarship programs and any number of things? And so our veteran service officers really transitioning into a transformational style where the veteran sits at the center of everything we do. And as a state, all of the opportunities, both state, local, federal, volunteer, circle around the veteran. So the veteran tells their story once and then we go to work as a team, building their house, building their lives to ensure that they thrive in our state. We talked about home ownership and certainly the 6,000 opportunities that Habitat for Humanity has created for veterans around our country. 6,000 families though, not just a single person, but family, generation after generation is affected by that. Building long-term wealth through home ownership, having something to give to the next generation is something of huge importance. There's a famous French philosopher whose last name is more difficult than yours. Gaston Bouchard, who once said, if I were asked to name the chief benefit of the house, I should say the house shelters daydreaming, the house protects the dreamer, and the house allows one to dream in peace. I want to thank you for hitting every mark that's providing safe, affordable, and efficient housing for our veterans. Not just a house, but a home. A place that they can have their holiday dinner in peace and they can dream about their lives together and what they're going to do. And letting us have an opportunity to volunteer alongside of you as we work to bridge the gap to make sure that our communities understand the role that they have in ensuring veterans come back to our state and thrive. November is a month for veterans, and we talked about that earlier, but every day is Veterans Day in our world. Whether it's Remember Everyone Deployed on Friday, or it's serving some Thanksgiving meal, or in February after the Super Bowl is over and the winter hangover begins, we all have a role to check in on our veterans. I want to make sure that everyone knows that not just as a Navy veteran and as the Director of Veterans Affairs, it's just a reminder as an opportunity to reflect on the sacrifices our veterans have made, both living and dead, and the privileges to support them in any way. And as I said at the outset, I'm selfish about it because I want them to answer the phone for you the same way they will answer for me, and not because I have a title, but because I'm a veteran. I have a title, United States Veteran. And that's what all of the people that are looking for help are asking for. And by doing what you're doing, not just because you're wearing a t-shirt, but you're putting your very heart and soul. And every time you drive by that community, you'll always know that you had a part to play in that person's life. And with partners like you, our possibilities for veteran success in Illinois are endless. People talk about Texas and Florida and Arizona and how awesome it is until it's summertime, and then they want to come back. But what they don't have is the heart of an Illinoisan. The kind of person who just leans in and says, I'm going to fix this problem, I'm going to make it happen, and drop everything and show up at the middle of the night to take care of someone who's having a crisis. As I said, the possibilities are endless. I really appreciate you inviting me here today. I'm looking forward to the IDVA team participating in the next Habitat for Humanity build. And thank all of you for your service to our country, both in uniform and in your communities. God bless you.
So I want to give a big thank you to all of our distinguished speakers. Thank you for your time and your voices today. you guys are what make us possible. You guys are what makes this happen. So let's continue to work together to make lives like Phil's better and everybody's better. So thank you so much.